What is up, everyone? Welcome to the show. My name is Matt, if you don't know, and I'm glad to have you here. And I have a very special guest person. I've been on their channel for a couple of times now, and love their channel, have such a good time. It's the one and only Etap Wakuian at the Place to Be Reviews. My friend, how are you doing?
Excellent, brother. Excellent. Thank you for having me, man. It's good to be here. And yeah, you're always a fun guest to have on. And yeah, you usually come on the Wednesday night, so we get to talk about. It's usually Florida man crime,
Yeah.
so it's always fun. It's always fun.
Yeah, I love your channel just because, like I said, the live streams are so much fun. The
Thank you.
was it the Wednesday nights? Yeah, the crazy news that we run into, and just it's always a good time and a good laugh. So yeah, I'm glad to finally have you on the channel. Like I said, this year I'm gonna have more people on, more discussions, and just kind of laugh at the clown nonsense that goes on. So let me say hi to a couple people that we have here in the chat. Philip Hawkins, my friend, hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Got Scott Davis. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Mark, channel member. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. We got a good show tonight. Got a couple stuff. Like I said, this week has been. I know we talked about this before backstage. It's been a crazy week. I feel like for everybody. For me, it's been just slammed with work and life stuff. So I haven't really had that much videos coming out. But we have some really funny news, at least, to talk about. So the first thing on the list is the wonderful HBO Max show, Velma, which is just so before I judged it, right, I did a video on it earlier. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to stream. Let me check it out. Let me make sure it's not just the, buzzwords that everyone says, and it's just not the race swapping. Holy hell. It is bad. It is
that bad.
So bad. As you were mentioned earlier, just like Santa Inc., the same red flags. They shut the comments off on the trailer.
I saw that.
It's being ratioed to death, the trailer itself. And then right now at Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, of course, they're going to say it's review bombed, right? That's what they always do. But right now, even the shill critics, though, it's at 50. Let's pull it up. Let's pull this up real quick. Do you know anything about this show right now? Have you heard
All I know
is
it? Mindy Kaling is from The Office, who it's kind of her. She plays Velma. If I'm not mistaken. Did she write this too? Because I believe she had some writing credits on The Office. And if this is any indication of her input level into The Office, then she is a horrible freaking writer. I mean, the critics are even dumping on this show.
Yeah, the shill critics are. So here's right now the critics' consensus is what it's saying. It's Jinkies. This radical reworking of the beloved mystery team has plenty of attitude and style, but it doesn't have the first clue for how to turn its clever subversion into engaging fun. And granted, this is an adult series. This is not for kids. For those who don't know what this is, it's a spin-off of Scooby-Doo, but way before they become a team, like in their high school years. Scooby-Doo the dog isn't even in the show. But, man, it is nonstop, like, sexual weird innuendos. Like, not joke after joke of forced, terrible humor. It's bad. I mean, like you could see here, of the ratings, even they don't like it. 50% is not good. And they like everything. They love this kind of crap.
Yeah.
And we can review some of these here real quick, but let's see. Bobby's here, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I thought Scrappy was the worst thing to happen to Scooby-Doo until I heard about this project. A couple people said that there was another Scooby-Doo show prior to this. It was like more of an adult themed, and it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good, but I don't know what it was called. I think it's still on HBO Max too, but so far, this is not doing well at all. And again, I'm not really that surprised. A lot of the woke nonsense, it's the same, IP hijacking, and then they insert their own stuff. And Velma's obviously a full-on lesbian, bisexual, of course, right? And then who's the white guy? What's his? Fred. Fred is the overprivileged rich white guy who doesn't talk to ugly people, the normal stuff. Spitfire Mark, no, this is a cartoon. Very, very bad. Are you a fan of Scooby-Doo? Like, you ever got into it?
I was a huge Scooby-Doo fan as a kid. I grew up watching the original cartoon, and like I said, my son is 7.5, and he's watched some of the original stuff. I was never a Scrappy Doo fan. I never was a Scrappy fan, but I like Scooby and everybody. What up, Soul Assassin? Um, and this just sounds terrible. Like, I mean, I acknowledge Fred was always a little fruit booty with his ascot on and everything. But I mean, Velma was never full on lesbicano. This is like Shaggy. Yeah, Shaggy's a stoner. Him and Scooby, that's their thing. They're always high. But this whole everything about this show that I heard, like I said, I haven't watched any of it yet or anything. I didn't even watch a trailer. I'm just like, I'm not gonna delve into it. I put my time in on Batwoman, and I haven't found.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole thing of itself.
That was 3 years I covered that show, and I'm still recovering from it right now. But this is just. God, this isn't gonna last. One season, and I guarantee they'll just pull a plug on it quietly and let it fade into the obscurity from which it arose.
Oh yeah, and the typical, that it's being review bombed, all the typical stuff already is coming out. Even though, like you said, you could see here some of these top critics are still trashing it itself. I mean, it says here, sporadically witty, but ultimately rather tedious. The HBO Max comedy leverages more than half a century of name equity to yield an animated prequel that's definitely not for kids, meddling or otherwise. I mean, they're just all the pieces of a great Scooby-Doo spin-off are here, so why does it not come together? Answer, a combination of uneven humor, too little mystery, and more misunderstanding of Velma herself. It's very strange. Did you watch the last Scream movie by chance?
I haven't seen the Scream movie since I think the third one came out.
Oh man, okay.
I never, after the third one, I was just like, I'm done.
I don't blame you, because they don't get any better, really.
No,
the third one's not the greatest
heard.
as it is, but they don't, they don't get even better than that. But the reason why I bring that up is because they really try to. Scream goes the meta route where it's self-aware and all that, and that's what they do with this. Even a couple of the Velma's having like these weird, because like I said, I watched episode 1. Horrible. I don't think I could watch episode. Like, I'm not going to review this show. Like you said, She-Hulk, that stuff it really does wear on you after. Like, you could only say the same things over and over.
Oh, that's it. And the show. If you're gonna review a bad show, like I see somebody said Batwoman was sort of as crazy. Yeah, I did the same thing. I covered that, and it was good for my channel. It was really good for my channel. But like you review these garbage tier shows. Like I tried to do, what up, Keely? I tried to do Rings of Power, right? And I made it 2 episodes into that, and I'm like, I can't. I don't. Because that was on at the same time She-Hulk was, and I was already reviewing I made 5 episodes into She-Hulk. I was tapping out. I was like, nope.
That's
I was like,
the same thing.
It's bad, dude. It's mentally, you everybody. Oh, I could do this. It's like you have to legitimately prepare yourself, because you have to watch the episodes not once, but maybe me. I watch them 2 or 3 times, and then I'll write my script. I'll do my rewrites on my review, and then I'll piece together the review, put all the clips together. And it's sometimes for a Batwoman video it was 16 to 18, 20 hours of putting together a video for me. But that shit turned into an art form. Like She-Hulk, I was just like, this is so bad. There's not enough time for me to sit here and do, and I'm not going to do a hour review of a 20-minute episode. I'm not going to do it, So then I gave up. And it's like I was looking for that next bad show to review, and now I'm just like, I don't want to review bad shows anymore. I can't do it. Do it.
I'm right there with you, because, She-Hulk, that was, again, at that point, you're laughing at it, but also, too, the time and effort it takes and then to watch this stuff, it's just, it wears on you. Same thing with Obi-Wan. Yep. I was doing that.
Oh, God.
It's like, you just keep doing that stuff. And, I'll report like news articles, like
same
simple stuff. But episode anymore, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of tapped out. I would rather focus on stuff that we really like and enjoy. And that way we could talk about enjoyable things, and you can get people to even, and you know what sucks though, even to, and you know this as a YouTuber, sometimes even the good reviews, you know, they're only going to be a hand, like you won't get as many views as you will the negative stuff, but
oh, absolutely.
It's at least enjoyable. And at least I enjoy doing that.
That's it, man. Like I got to where it's like, all right, so She-Hulk, it's like, I figured that my views would be really good on that, like they were with Batwoman. Keely, I was walking around singing like, "How do I live without you?" Holding a picture of Ruby Rose in one hand and Javicia Leslie in the other hand. I was like, I lost both my bat bitches. But no, it is, man. Nobody wants to see you be like, I mean, I can't say nobody. I'm being facetious, obviously, but the vast majority of the audience, they get used to seeing you tear things apart, right? Yeah. And it's like they get used to that and they're accustomed to it. Then you switch to being positive, and the audience will be like, wait a minute, you know. But I like the I've got, like, I watched the Terminal List. Watched the Terminal List. Loved it. Great show. Heels with Amel.
Show.
Dude, loved Heels. But nobody watched the reviews of them because we're watching them, and it's like me and Vinny reviewed Heels, and we're being positive about it. And it's like nobody watched it. Yep. Nobody watched it. Same thing with Terminal List. Nobody watched it. I started reviewing. I reviewed Prodigal Son, which was with Tom Payne from Walking Dead. What's her name? The little blonde that played Alara on the Orville. I can't think of her name. She has a very like waspy, yuppie white name, but I can't think of her name. But she was in Prodigal Son. Really, really good show. Lou Diamond Phillips was in it. Yeah. Nobody watched the reviews. I'm like, this is a fucking well crafted like crime, you know, and it's just like. Now if I pick out like a dumpster fire, everybody's gonna be like, yes, let's watch it burn. But I started getting into Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is great.
I watched the entire series over the Christmas vacation when I was sick. Me, the wife, and the kid watched all 4 seasons, and I'm covering it now up until season 5. You know, I'm reporting on news. Actually, I got a video coming out tomorrow, and they're doing okay. You know, it's like I've said it on my live streams. I'm like, I can't mentally do the negative shit anymore. I'm like, I can't, like, yeah, I'll get, you know, like I did the Grace Randolph video. Yeah, I'll still bag on people. Like, you know, Grace, the offer's on the table, girl. You want me to knock that eye right? Come see daddy. I'll hit that. You won't have that white girl Forrest Whitaker eye anymore, boo. But no, man, it's just you gotta look at some positive stuff, and that's like I want to watch Maverick. You know, I want to do that. I got a review coming up of Monster Squad.
That's such a good movie, man. Oh, it's such a classic.
It is brilliant. It is the Goonies, like with the Universal monsters.
Yes, Universal
you know what I mean?
monsters.
It's a fun movie, so it's like that's what I want to try to do, and that's like my new channel, which is supposed to launch tomorrow, which I haven't had time to record for. My voice is back to normal. Camp Crystal Lake is all horror. And which I'm gonna do like true like Reddit true horror stories and true crime mini documentaries. And
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'll be nice because I'm never gonna be on camera at all. No name, just the channel. I'm never gonna be on camera. No live streams. I'm gonna upload a video a week and go from there. And that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, it's fun, man. That's just positive stuff. And yeah, and I love horror, so that's...
Yeah, horror movies are great. I love a good horror movie. Did you see the new Megan movie that came out? I was wondering if you saw it. I haven't watched it yet. I heard good things.
I haven't, but I've heard like really good things, and that's like, okay, so I'm going to need to check this out. This is one that's going to be worth watching. It's kind of like Pearl in X.
Yeah, those I haven't seen, but I heard those were good too.
Same. Fisk, Chris, one of my co-hosts from Monday Night, was telling me about it. I just watched Nope. Did you see that?
I haven't seen Nope. I haven't seen it. I like his movies, but that was the thing, right? So there was a trailer at first. they were alluding to what it was. You know what I mean? Like possible. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But then I saw a trailer and it gave so much of the movie away. I was like, nah, I'm out. I was like, it just ruined all the, you know, was it Us? I really enjoyed. I thought Us was great.
I got angry. Like I was like angry during Us. I liked Get Out. I thought
Get Out was
and
great.
I liked it on a couple levels, and I'm not a huge Jordan Peele fan. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I liked Us, not Us, but Get Out because it showed it truly, and I'm gonna say this, it showed white liberals for what they truly are. It really did, and I'm sorry, but that intellectual liberal highbrow society, that's exact. They act one way, and then behind they're the, and that's, I was like, that is so scary, freaking accurate. Like, but I thought conceptually it was a good movie, like the Sunken Place and all that. Like it was very inventive. Us, I was just like, I was angry. I mean, there was parts of it I was like, this is kind of cool, but it was just like,
it took some crazy turns, and I wasn't expecting it, which is why it threw me off. I would say Get Out was way better.
Yeah. Get Out was better than that. Nope, I watched, and I was like, half the scenes, I'm like, why is this even in the movie? Yeah. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It was decent. Nowhere near as good as Get Out. I think Us was probably better than Nope. To be honest. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it at all. I saw this got canceled. The Female Expendables.
So yeah, I didn't even hear about this. Is this already?
Yeah, it's axed. They were talking about doing that because, you know, you got to have an all-female Expendables movie because the Oceans was it Oceans 8 went so well with Anne Hathaway and the chick from Empire. What's her name? I don't know, but yeah, that bombed horribly. I mean, you can't have a movie like this with like a group. You have like 8 women trying to do something together, and there's going to be groups of like 2 or 3 that are going to break off and talk shit about the way the other ones are dressed. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You can't have a team of women pulling a heist. They're going to backstab each other.
They did a movie. Did you see the Mafia movie? I think it's like called Hell's Kitchen or something like that, where it was the women mafia. And that bombed with Melissa McCarthy because that's not realistic. Do you understand? Like, that was real mafia. What would have happened with women? They would have been done in 2 minutes.
They would have been dusted off like that.
They wouldn't even bother talking to them. It's just been like, you're done.
No, it's not like Griselda Blanco or some shit like that. Like that movie was I watched about 10 minutes of it and I'm like, oh, okay, no, I could go out and hit myself in the head with a rock and have a more enjoyable time than watching this shit. Like, and it's like, it's not that it's women, it's just bad writing. It's terrible writing. And that's what really kills me about all these movies is I have a Ghostbusters shirt on. Speaking of bad movies with females, you know, and then they insulate these movies and it's always the same boilerplate, you know, racist, misogynist, sexist, transphobe, homophobe, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know, they're just literally got a dartboard and they're just throwing darts to see what, you know, and insulting in what business is insulting the paying customers, like the model that pays the bills at the end of the day. You know, it never works.
Well, and that's the crazy thing. It's like, you know, they continuously do the same thing over. I mean, I guarantee you, I'm going to call it now. A lot of us already, you know, other YouTubers saying the same thing. Velma will get hit with it. We already see the articles where it's review bomb. Yeah. It's trash. It's just garbage. You're putting money in things that people don't want, that the normal, you know, this, like I said, I watched episode 1. It's hypersexual. You have like the very first opening scene there. It's literally a bunch of women in high school taking a shower and they're talking about, you know, sexual innuendos and like they're half-ass naked. Like it's, you know, cartoons and stuff, but it's just, even that, it's just really bad jokes. It's terrible. It's talking down. Obviously, you know, Fred's the rich white guy, so he's a problem. Yep. You know, just the constant stuff. And people, for the most part, are tired of that. But then if you question it or say anything, well, you're an istophobe or, you know, it's all the same Same shit. And that's why there's no hope for these IPs. There's no hope for this stuff. It's just you just got to wait till the money runs out, I feel like, at this point.
Well, when you go back, you can kind of take it back to She-Hulk. You're talking about the writing for the show. And, there's all these sexual innuendos. And what I saw and what I see in a lot of this is, and I'm not reinventing the wheel here, more or less just reiterating a point that's been stated, is that this is all we're seeing, all this, and I even hate using the term woke anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's so just beat into the ground. But it's the truth is we're seeing projection from vapid, hollow husks of West, or not even West Coast, but just coastal elites that they think this is all life is. It's swiping on dating apps and drinking and superficial conversations about nothing, and that's basically what She-Hulk was. It was a bunch of late 30-something spinsters who hate men because they blame men for all of their problems.
Yep.
Why they're single, why they have 30 cats, why they're slugging a box of wine down a night and living off Chinese takeout leftovers. And that's their entire life. And that's what we saw push through. And this is comic accurate. I'm not even a She-Hulk comic expert, not even a little bit. I went back and read it within the last couple of years, some of the Byrne run, which is the only one that really matters. And it's not comic accurate.
Oh, it's only comic accurate to that one writer who wrote it, and that was an earlier run. So that's when people are like, when the fools on Twitter, they're like, well, it happened in the comics. Just because it was in a bad comic doesn't mean that's now justifiable. A bad comic is still a bad idea. It doesn't matter.
Talking Dan Slott?
Yeah.
Oh, that piece of shit. Okay, that dude and I'm not. I know picking on somebody's aesthetics is low-hanging fruit, but sometimes sometimes I'm hungry and I want an apple and it's right there. And Dan Slott is he calls people neckbeards. This dude is a troglodyte. Yeah. He looks like he's on a watch list where he can't live within a couple 100 feet of a school. This dude is literally somebody opened the Ark of the Covenant ugly. And on top of all that, he's just an asshole. Yeah. He's literally just an asshole. He blocked me on Twitter 2 years ago because I dared question something he said in a Bounding article, and I'm like, okay, all right, let me call this motherfucker out on it. And I went right to his Twitter, and I was like, hey, here's the tweet in question, and I blocked immediately. Blocked. Just it's I have right. It's and I don't even think I went hard in the paint at first. I might have, because sometimes I just have the tact of a sledgehammer, and especially with somebody like him. It's like Adam Sessler. I went right at him.
Oh well deserved.
And blocked. What really got me was when Scott Mendelson blocked me. I was like, I felt as a YouTuber I'd accomplished something when I got Scott Mendelson's soy ass to block me. I automatically sent a screenshot to Jeff from World Class. I was like, I made it. He's like, congratulations.
Yeah, and Richard says, honestly,
these people are sick.
He goes, honestly, I think an all-female Expendables would be fine if they were all hot and treated it like Charlie's Angels and didn't make the guy character stupid. Yeah, there's definitely ways to pull it off if they did it correctly and made a movie where men would want to watch it and laugh at it and not laugh at it, but laugh with it. But then also women can watch it and say, huh, okay, like Charlie's Angels back in the day with even the one with Bernie Mac. That was a good movie. Everyone liked that movie. They weren't great, but they were enjoyable.
They were fun. I went to the theater to see both of those. The first one is a pretty decent movie. The second one was MCG directed it. The dude did all the music videos, and it was basically a music video. Crispin Glover, though, let's be honest. Crispin Glover's a great fucking heel. Those movies are fun, and some of the guy characters are still evil or assholes or just stupid, but you know what? It doesn't come off as offensive because the movie is self-aware enough not to take itself too seriously. Like the new one, the 2019 one with Elizabeth Banks, who how she keeps getting work. I went to see that movie opening night. on a bet. I had to go on a bet to go see Charlie's Angels, which, like I said, I went to see the one that came out in, was it 99, and then the other one was like 02. I went to see those, and they were fun. Seeing those in the theater, like me and my girlfriend went to see them. It was fine. It was fun. They were enjoyable movies. You know, you had hot women, and it was enjoyable to watch. Like the new one was painful. It was like Ghostbusters 2016. There was 5 people in the theater, right? 4 men, 1 older guy and his wife. The rest of them were guys. Like I'm sitting back there going like 10 minutes in, like, holy shit, this is horrible. The Tomb Raider films, I haven't seen those in forever, but no, like the villains were serious. What did you think of the new Tomb Raider? I like the girl, Alicia Vikander, just basically because like her abs are a washboard. Michael Fassbender's a lucky man, but I thought her character, her as Lara Croft, was bad. Like it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I mean, there's Jolie's rendition of it was pretty much spot on video game. You know what I mean? Adaptation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't really beat that. But yeah, I mean, these people don't learn. It's the same stuff, and you know, same thing with this next topic. Real quick. Well, before I get into this, we'll go. This one's a pretty quick one, but this also kind of explains why you know, we are in the state that we are in, and why Hollywood, these weirdos continue to do the things that they do. It's because they're not held accountable like the common man. Kind of like how, you know, if, for example, if you and I don't know, burglarized a place, you know, we wouldn't get, you know, 90 days of time served and probation. We would probably go sit in a jail cell for a little bit. So if any of you haven't heard, you know, Ezra Miller has been in a lot of trouble over the past couple of years. The most recent one, that came to light for me, was he was charged with felony burglary out of Vermont, and he pled guilty to trespassing. So let's look over exactly what they say really quick. Let's see. Yeah, he's expecting to plead guilty to a lesser charge of unlawful trespassing in Vermont burglary case, with 2 other charges against the actor being dropped, of course, because he made a plea deal. So if you guys don't know this, they usually charge you with the highest charge, and then you work something out with the prosecutor, drop down, and this is where we're at. So, but what's coming out of this? Let me try to find it. So court documents indicate the prosecutors are recommending that Miller face 89 to 90 days in a suspended sentence, so done, in addition to a year's probation and a $500 fine. That's it. $500. The maximum sentence would have been 26 years. Now, granted, you would think that they would take into the other cases against him into consideration, saying like, hey, this guy is a problem. He's a constant problem, because he's already been charged with multiple counts of like battery and assault. I know those are still
recidivist
pending.
and a habitual offender. I mean, the
and
legal terms.
Yeah, and but of course, because he hasn't been found guilty yet, right? But my understanding, if you have open cases against you, that stuff is supposed to hold true when it comes to prosecutors. But again, this is what happens when you're dealing with, you know, Hollywood elite, like you and I.
Dude, I had to pay, like, when I got arrested for weed back in like 04, back before it was legal. I got like a half gram in a pipe, and I got arrested for that. You talk about some fucking bullshit. I had to pay, like, my fines and court costs were like $3,000. Like,
oh yeah.
I posted personal recognizance bond for bail. You know, I bailed right out. It was more than $500, I'll tell you that. And I had a clean record. I have nothing. That's the only fucking thing I've ever had in my fucking record. The only thing. And like it was fucking ridiculous. It's to see the way they treat him. And this dude is a animal bathing enthusiast as well. YouTube lingo. I mean, how much shit? This guy is basically a cult leader. All right, let's call it what he is. The dude basically had like a cult. And they're, you know, the fact there's such leniency showed to this guy is just, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. But it's like you said, Hollywood, they have their high priced lawyers, and I mean, it's sad. It's sad.
Well, and look at and not to get into this, because I don't talk too much politics, but we see the same thing with politicians, right? We have certain people will leave classified records in a garage next to their car, and that's acceptable. No problem. No FBI raid, whatever. But if someone else does it, hey, it's held to a different standard. And that's just where where we're at today, where it's a class society, right? If you're not up there, if you're not in the club, as George Carlin would say, like, you're not in it. We're not part of it. They are held to different standards. They're going to do what they've got to do because they, whatever cultish stuff they swear to do, or I don't even know, human sacrifices that they do. Who knows? But
adrenochrome, allegedly.
But yeah, I mean, but too, I also heard rumors that they're thinking about, because they're banking a lot of money on this Flash movie. They're saying it's going to be the next, like, Marvel cinematic, like Endgame style thing. They're thinking of, my understanding, the rumor is Ezra Miller might be sticking around.
I saw that the other day, and I wanted to do a video on it, but my slate was so full this week. I would like to say that I am shocked, but I'm not, because look who's coming in. James Gunn. All right. And I know Guardians of the Galaxy, fun movie, right? Great movie. The only thing, I've said it and I'm on record, the only damn thing I like about James Gunn is the man's taste in music.
Yes, he does have a good taste in music.
I like his taste in music, but outside of that, look, man, I'm a parent. I got no love for James Gunn. Like, I'm the darkest of the dark when it comes to humor. Like I said, everything's on the table to be made fun of, or nothing's on the table to be made fun of, with certain exceptions. And some of the things that James Gunn has said online and tried to pass off as humor, I'm just like, you're projecting is what you're doing, bud. And you guys all know what I'm talking about. We know the tweets. We're aware. I'm afraid this is what scares me with him taking over DC, right? You get rid of somebody like Henry Cavill, which, you know what, he never got to play actual Superman anyway, which is sad, because the dude was basically the most perfect person to play Superman since Christopher Reeve. You get rid of somebody like him, you keep Ezra Miller. What kind of message does that send? And then for Superman, lest we forget, and I've been covering this for almost 2.5 years, Ta-Nehisi Coates, the anti-American, absolute racist asshole Ta-Nehisi Coates, sitting back in the cut with his Superman project that they explicitly said was going to be Black Kal-El, Black Clark Kent, not Calvin Ellis, not Val Zod, all right? If you want to use one of the existing ones, do it. They're there, right? But no, they are going out of their way to race swap Clark Kent, Kal-El, son of Jor-El, which to me makes no sense, and that is a straight up just antagonistic move right there, because you're already setting yourself up. You're insulating yourself from criticism, because if you criticism, here come the boilerplate responses of what you are. And it's like, no, this is going to be poorly written. Like his nothing he's done has been good.
Yeah, he can't write anything good. So
no, he did that was a Black Panther run.
Yeah,
didn't he do Black Panther for Marvel back in the day? And there's, I can't remember what else, but this dude is he's good. The character's already like screwed as it is. And now this is what you're gonna do, like cinematically. And I'm not saying, like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I can see with James Gunn and the way he is, him going like, let's lean in on this, like. You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling it'll be there, especially with the multiverse thing. And I think keeping Ezra Miller on's a bad move. I really do.
And he also, remember, Ezra Miller checks those ESG score boxes, right? They all have that report card that they need to, you got to be a certain LGBTQ, you got to have diversity. And he hits all the boxes where he's, I think, whatever he identifies as, he's supposedly trans, I think, depending on the month and week and day, who knows, the wind blows. But he's out there. So he hits those boxes. So, they're not going to prosecute him because, again, that's a protected class of people. Then they're not going to fire him because that's a protected class of people. And that's their more so like the token, like, oh, this is our token weirdo, and we're just going to keep him here, and he can keep doing his little Flash movies. And, I did, when I first heard about DC, just because it's been so damn mishandled for so long, I was like, okay, maybe this is like a glimmer of hope. And with Zaslav, like in the background, I was like, all right, maybe he won't let this get stupid. Maybe he really, but I feel like when I heard about Cavill and all this other stuff going on,
Yeah.
even Gal Gadot, I think they're letting her go, and
They
I'm like,
are.
She's
They're
perfect
gonna,
as a Wonder.
Yep.
I mean, she's not the best Wonder Woman in the world, but I mean, I can't think of anybody better.
I love Gal Gadot. I do. She's beautiful. She's elegant. She seems very kind and warm. Outside of being Wonder Woman, I mean, her acting range has been questioned. I know she's in the Fast and Furious franchise. I don't pay attention. I haven't seen one of those since the part
one.
2. Yep, same. When that was like 2003 or 4.
2,
right. Yeah. I haven't seen a new one since. It's just I was like, man, in the scene where homeboy in Justice League, what's his name? What is that?
Bennett?
What villain in Justice League? What the fuck was homeboy's name? That was coming after the mother boxes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of his. Yeah, I can't think of his damn name. But when that scene when he comes into, he's on Themyscira, and he's, for some reason, they're like trying to close the door. Like, this motherfucker can teleport, and you bitches are closing the door. I'm just like, anyway, the one, what's her name? She's a CrossFitter, Brooke Anise, blonde, built like a wall, gorgeous blonde. I'm just like, why don't they have somebody like that play Wonder Woman? Like, she's supposed to be like an Amazon, like, freaking warrior. Steppenwolf. Thank you, Cage and Corey. Steppenwolf. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name because he was so bad. It was so bad. I was like, I was making fun of Zack Snyder the other day, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I saw that on the stream.
Yeah, I was like, when the sum total of your cut of Justice League is a hot dog going by Ezra's face, and that's the most excited and happy he looked, just...
Yeah.
With that hot dog going by his face. I'm like, he didn't even care about the girl, man. He was more interested in that hot dog. But I was like, cast like a woman that looks like that is like Wonder Woman. Like, I mean, like, I know there's stunt women that can act. You know what I mean? That was my gripe with She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
That was my gripe with She-Hulk, was like, and when they did practical effects, they had a guy. I'm like, I know female bodybuilders that personally that could play that role, do that fucking gimmick, and not need any CGI at all. Shit, I'm talking to one. I'm trying to get her on. Name's Amber DeLuca. She's like 5'10", and off season she's like 230. She weighs as much as I do, and she's a freaking smoke show. I'm like, this chick. Like, I know women that could play this role. Like, I've been in the ring with women that look like that, and it's like, we don't need this CGI bullshit, and that's what bothers me is the casting for a lot of these roles. You know what I mean? It's like, you could do so much better. And Ezra Miller's the Flash. This dude does not look a damn thing like the Flash from the comics.
No, it's just they know the right people. They're political. Yep. And I mean political not in the sense of like government. I mean like they know producers, they know directors, they know Hollywood executives. It's that country club style thing.
Nepotism.
Like, yep, and they're in the right mindset. That's why when you see these lunatics on Twitter saying these crazy things, as we've all said very, very loud, that's just their virtual and digital resume. It's just them saying, hey, I'm in the club, I'm with you guys. Yep. That's why James Cameron's all about there screaming about testosterone and the environment, climate change nonsense, right? Because he's like, hey, Disney, I need to keep making my movies. So just so you know, I'm not the old James Cameron where you're going to show, what's her name, Sigourney Weaver in her tighty whities. I'm hip now. I'm cool. So
yeah, I'm with. He's Steve Buscemi with the bat. Hello, fellow kids.
Yes.
Like that is James Cameron now. God, what, like, he set the bar really low. And I'm sorry, I get angry on Mondays when we do like the box office breakdown and I see how much money Avatar is making. I was like, who is clamoring for this?
I don't know. I've had a lot of people, like I saw someone, just a random tweet. It's like, how is this movie making so much money? And I don't know anybody who's seen it. Like, especially, like, I don't know that many people that have seen it. I know, like, but overseas it's destroying. But nothing's out. There's nothing else out.
No. Megan did good Megan had like 32 million opening weekend, which was awesome. I was like, I'm glad to see that.
Wasn't that on a budget of like 12?
It was
Yeah, it was
very
like very
because
low budget.
that's a A24, if I'm not mistaken. Which I like. See, I like seeing the things that A24 doing well because A24 is the studio behind the Brian Fuller, who was responsible for Hannibal, the Camp Crystal Lake show.
Okay.
The Friday the 13th series is coming out on Peacock, which I have been
I've heard
watching
about that.
with
Is it
great
good?
interest. No, it's not out
Oh,
yet, but I've just
that's
been
right,
kind
that's
of
right.
covering the news. It comes out next year,
Yeah,
so
because
I'm
they don't
kind
have
of
the full rights to
no,
Friday
they
the
do.
13th. Oh,
They,
they do
they
now?
do. They do. They do because the lawsuit was settled between Victor Miller and Cunningham. They can use everything under the sun as far as Friday.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm kind of like, please, 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 please keep this. And I'm writing a Friday the 13th movie right now. I've been working on it for a little while.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
like my side project. Yeah, it basically picks up where Jason Takes Manhattan left off. But we're back. We're back at camp. We went back
Yeah.
to Crystal Lake. We're not in Vancouver / Manhattan anymore. Which actually I forgot to announce the winner of the poll. I'll do that after your show's over, obviously. Because tomorrow's Friday the 13th.
Yep.
My favorite horror franchise. My favorite character. I was Jason for Halloween this year. We're gonna watch. It's gonna be part 8. I'm pretty sure it won the poll on the community tab over on the channel. We had it up there for 3 days now, and so tomorrow night we're gonna watch at 7. We're watching. It's gonna be Friday 13th Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan, and I'll have a link to where everybody can watch it through a certain streaming service that I have. I will share that with everybody. We'll have a studio set up, and yeah, there's gonna be me and Jeff and Nick from World Class, Bullshitters, Tony, my co-host Tony,
Yep.
probably Chris, Vinny. And Draven, I think. And yeah, we're gonna watch that tomorrow night. I'm excited.
That'll be
One of
fun.
the best songs, "Darkest Side of the Night," that they play in the opening credits, and it's great because like I actually it's a pretty dope song. Like my music tastes are very like eclectic, but I've been like on a huge '80s kick, and my son like loves the '80s now. He loves like music from the '80s. I've kind of led him into that,
And
and to
Stranger
where
Things probably helps a little bit too, right?
oh dude, yeah,
Yeah.
he's hearing songs and that now going like, hey, we listened to this. I'm like,
Yeah.
yep. Like he's asking for the Clash in the morning now, and like this morning, literally, I'm not even joking because we just watched season 4 and Master of Puppets. He was like, "Can we listen? Can we listen to that?" I'm like, "Abso-freaking-lutely, bud. That's before Metallica sold out, went corporate. Let's do it."
Yep. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's that's why when we sit and think about, the old stuff back in the day, which we'll get to, I want to talk to you about because I know you're a big wrestling fan. You've done
Yeah.
it, right? So
Yep.
lately I've been it's been a while now, but I've just been watching all the old school wrestling stuff. Like I literally last night I literally watched the Survivor Series Montreal Screwjob. Like I rewatched it
yeah.
last night. So like, and I'm just going through. I started like I don't know, I think early 97, 96, and I just like picked up a Raw and I just kept going.
Okay.
And because I have it on Peacock, and
Yep.
I'm up to that. So Kane just showed up. The Generation
Yeah.
X just was reborn, or born. So it's cool,
Okay.
and it's just it's reliving your childhood, man. It's like I remember watching this stuff back in the day, but yeah, new stuff today is such garbage that we have to revert back to the old stuff to enjoy anything because it's just this nonsense. So I don't know, crazy stuff. But I want to talk about this next article real quick. That's enough with the Ezra Miller nonsense. DC, I guess we're gonna have to see how that plays out. I don't know. Like, are you? And last thing on this, are you gonna go to see the Flash, or are you gonna pass on it and see what reviews are?
All right. I'm not like anti, like a lot of anti Marvel, obviously because of Disney. But I was planning on going to see this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go watch Flash. Whatchamacall? Blue Beetle. That one broke my heart because the kid Miguel that plays Miguel is Blue Beetle, and this kid put in work, dude. He put on some size, like he was invested in the role, and I'm like, I respect the hell out of that. Like I was excited and and hopefully, like, it'll still be a good movie. It'll make some money, and he'll be able to move on to some, move on beyond Cobra Kai and this, and have a good career. But no, I'm gonna check it out. That one, and was Shazam. Like, I just did a video on Zachary Levi. He was kind of simping out there. You know what I mean?
You see, he's trying to save his job.
Yeah. Apparently, one of my channel members, Clone Geek, said that he's friends with Peter Safran, though. So he might be one of the ones.
He produced the Shazam, the first movie. I'm pretty sure. So he's tight with all of them.
So he could be one of the guys who makes the cut. You know what I mean?
I enjoy him as Shazam. He plays.
I don't dislike Zachary Levi as Shazam. I just, like, as a person, he's kind of he's like during Captain Marvel, when people we'll go see Shazam, so he's like, oh hey, you can go see both of them, guys. And then his movie got fucking buried. It only made like I think it was, what did that make? Did that make 400 something? But I mean, Captain Marvel made, quote unquote, $1 billion. Yes. With heavy air quotes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll go check it out. I got, like I said, I got nothing against it. I mean, Ezra Miller's trash, but I still am interested in, what they did with the movie, because
all about.
I like the character of the Flash. That's the thing, is I like the character. I wish they would have replaced Ezra Miller with Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
Honestly. But we'll see.
But Alan over at Press Play Streaming Studios, my friend, hope you're doing well, says, I'll never forget when my oldest asked me if I had Carry On by Kansas, thanks Guitar Hero. Yeah. And I'll be streaming with Alan here shortly. Coming up on the 23rd, we're going to be I believe it's the 23rd. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, if you're still here. I believe it's like 8 or 7 p.m. Eastern. I have to pull it up. I'll announce it on the channel and stuff, but we're going to be reviewing Dale and Tucker versus Evil, which is a great movie. If you've never seen it, it's fun. So that'll be a fun time. So like I said, I'll post that in my community tab once we're a little bit closer. But that'll be a good day. But but this last article, the last topic of the night before we start just getting into tomfoolery, is a Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power showrunner explains why they decided to ignore Tolkien's writings and depict their own creation of Mordor. Now, a lot of before I do this, it's the 23rd at 7:45 Eastern, that review. So that'll be a fun time, and I'll post that. That's going to be a lot of fun, Alan. So I'm looking forward to that. But getting back into Tolkien here, Rings of Power is trash. I have not watched it. Let me take that back. I gave the first episode a shot, and I tried episode 2, and I got to where I saw, I want to say, I think it was Gandalf fall out of the sky as a meteor. And when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm done. that was
white boys falling from the sky. Shit.
I was like, nah, I think I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. And it was so long and drawn out. The dialogue was terrible. Painful. I mean, I was just, again, just like you, it's like, if I'm going to review bad stuff, I have to at least be able to laugh at it. Like, She-Hulk was at least a little bit enjoyable in the sense of I can laugh at it and be like, wow, these people are sad, and those were short episodes. Those episodes were long, and it was just terrible. And we knew what they were going to do, right? Like everything else, they hijack these IPs, and we see that with comics all the time. They go, we can do better than what came before it. And we always prove them wrong, because at the end of the day, they can't. They can maybe win over a couple lost souls on Twitter that don't know which genitalia they actually have, and that's fine, right? They're lost. You can't help them. But that's not the majority of us. People that have common sense in their head. This is just disrespectful and everything. So he explains here what they did. So real quick, it says McKay explained the scene about, again, Mordor. It says, well, let me make sure I didn't jump anything. I apologize. And my computer keeps lagging on me. Okay, cool. It says a huge theme in Tolkien is the environmentalism and the way machines and industrialization destroys the land, and we wanted that to be central and core all the time. It's a thing that comes up again and again throughout the show. He then revealed, so in the writer's room, we asked, what if Mordor was beautiful? All bucolic like Switzerland. And then what could happen that could transform it? We talked about the poisoning of the land, which starts in the first episode with the cow. Then you find out about the tunnels being dug and sulfur is going up into the air, and it all builds towards this geological, realistic way of igniting the mountain, which now blacks out the sky for a very practical reason. To me, that sounds like the Green New Deal kind of and stuff. Like that's what they were trying to allude to.
Yeah.
But as they say here, it says, however, this is not how Mordor came about at all. In fact, the land was not idyllic or bucolic like in Switzerland. It had repeatedly been hammered by the eruptions of Mount Doom over the years, and thus was the desolate readers and viewers of the Lord of the Rings know. In the Peoples of Middle-earth, Christopher Tolkien writes in the notes section of the book that the name Mordor was maybe already an elvish name for that region because it's volcanic Oradurin and its eruptions. Every time I can't pronounce a word, it always reminds me of Dumb and Dumber, like Swanee, Slappy, Samsonite. I was way off.
Samsonite,
which we were not made by
theater.
I love that movie. Oh, so good. Which were not made by Sauron, but were a relic of the devastating works of Melkor in the long First Age. Now, and they go on to explain multiple other examples here of how Mordor came to be and why it was the desolate wasteland that it was. And of course, the writers just said, "Oh, let's just put in, greenhouse gases and other things and environmental and the Green New Deal basically to explain the situation." And I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan in the sense that I enjoy it. I've not read the books, right? I'm not a diehard fan, but can you imagine the people that are, and then they see this stuff, how just insulting it is? Because I am a big Star Wars fan, Ghostbusters fan, right? And when I see that IP destroyed, it pisses me off.
So, I got a Lord of the Rings chess set right here.
That's pretty awesome. So when you see this, I mean, it's just so like, why would anyone think like Lord of the Rings? I think it's safe to say, even if you're a normie, you know that this is massively popular with the fan base, with the IP. Like normies, They know the movies and that's it. But that's not most of the people that are going to like cling to this show. So the fact that you thought that this was going to have some big, giant, sweeping normie revolution, it was again, everything's word of mouth. Yep. It's not critics. It's word of mouth from your neighbor, your friend, or the random YouTuber that you follow. And most of those people that follow this stuff are like, just obsessive about it. They're very dedicated. It's been their whole life. And these types of shows, when they do this, those are the ones that they basically slap in the face.
Yes.
Let's see here. It says, let's get to the chat a little bit. Oh, this jump. Pops, my friend, another channel member. Great channel. If you guys don't know Pops, go check him out. I'm just here for the tomfoolery and shenanigans. Well, you are the right place for sure. We have some breaking news. You want to go ahead and announce it since you just saw it?
Yeah. Lisa Marie Presley has passed away at the age of 54. Cardiac arrest. That's it's sad. But especially because, especially now when you hear cardiac arrest, there's one thing that comes in your mind right off the top. And it's like, is that why? Because 54, that's pretty fucking young, honestly, because she was fairly, she was pretty healthy. And there's, but I won't say anymore. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But sad, the passing of Elvis's was his daughter. She was his daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, she's born in 668.
I did see earlier that there was rushed to the hospital, but they weren't saying what though. Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
And, and it's unfortunate now that anytime you see cardiac arrest, you kind of get in trouble for not normal people. Normal people say, we question everything, but mainstream media and news outlets and propagandists are, you can't question anything. You can't even allude to anything. But no, that's definitely sad. And, but yeah, I mean, it's it's where life is now. We're losing more and more people at a younger age, and it's especially celebrities, man. We're losing, especially like comedians and stuff over the past couple of years. So many people lost so early.
I know.
But yeah,
And
Philip
yet
Hawkins.
Amy Schumer's still free to pollute the world with her garbage.
God, I can't.
There's no justice.
The joke thief.
She's like the female Carlos Mencia.
Oh God, she's worse than him.
Might have had. I was to say he might have had bigger tits, but she is way worse.
Philip Hawkins says yes. Christopher Tolkien and J.R.R. Tolkien both described Mordor as existing volcanoes. So yeah, I mean, of course, they're obviously going to crap on the source material because the source material means nothing to them. It's just an IP for, again, as we talked about with Velma and everything else. They hijack this to push their own stuff, and then if you don't like it, well, you're part of the problem, and you're part of the quote unquote culture war. Just like if if you are a fan of gas stoves now, it's apparently you're the right side of the culture war. I don't know how that goes, but
so
yeah.
I can't wait for like the gas stove, turf, alt-right Russian bots to be on the same side at the same time. It's going to be hilarious. Like people's faces are going to melt. I don't know. I'm just thinking of like weird pairings of like, you know what I mean? Because it's like everybody, it's very tribalistic. Like that's the problem with like politics overall, and not just national politics, but like social, you know what I mean? It is like everybody's so tribal. Like it's very jarring. It's like you're either pro or you're for. There's no like a lot of people don't leave any room for nuance. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the same thing. I even like to say this too, because I do like to call out our own side too, because there's a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I don't look at I'm in the middle. That's how I look at it, because there's a lot of things on, the right side where it's too like, say, for example, like say Trump says something really, really stupid. I'm like, yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said it.
Yep.
But there are some people that are like, no. Like, it's like, nah, you can't just follow anyone blindly. You got to ask everybody questions. You got to do all that stuff. But yeah, it's the tribalism. What's interesting about the gas stove thing is how you see this article come out from someone who's sponsored by the World Economic Forum, and then magically every single person in the planet that has some type of platform that leans left has always like, yeah, this has been a thing forever. It's so harmful for you. It's horrible. And they're all in the same song and dance. And then the followers and the bots are all, yes, we have to. Do you know what that would do to the restaurant industry? Do you know what that would do in general? That would decimate. It's insanity, absolute insanity. But you don't need for a restaurant industry when they want you to eat the bugs. So
you will eat the bugs and you will enjoy them. And then you got Robert Downey Jr. looking like a homeless
villain.
Klaus Schwab. Hello, I am Klaus Schwab from World Economic Forum, you peasants. How are your crickets? I hope you're enjoying them while I eat Wagyu. Yeah,
tell me he wasn't. He didn't wear a gray uniform back in the day. High Step.
Him and his boy there, George.
George was in the camp, but he was just a ringleader. He was like, "No, I'm on your team, guys. I'll keep them in charge or in check." He was
selling out his own people, and well, not much has changed but the time, huh? Heil Klaus. I can't think of anything. I know for a Jew, I'm doing a freaking German accent, but it's funny. Like I taught my dog, like her commands are in Deutsch. Like because my cousin's a narcotics dog handler. That's where I picked it up from. So and it's fun.
I've had the German Shepherds. They train them fully in German. All their commands are in German. So
yep.
Yeah, I worked with a lot of canine units that have that, and even in the Marine Corps, they had canine units and. It's sad if people knew how the military treated canine dogs. Yeah, PETA would be losing their mind because they treat them literally like a tool, like a shovel. Like it's
so sad.
I'm
such a dog lover, dude.
I know, and I'm like
heartbreaking.
I love dogs. I love them probably more than most people, and it's like
right. Dogs are better. Dogs are inherently better than people, though. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so the last, not really. That was the last topic I want to talk about. And like I said, I'm not the biggest Rings of Power stuff, but man, it's just the same stuff. And it's like, when are they going to learn? And we see what Disney's doing.
Yeah.
We see all this stuff, and it's like, how much further can it go? You know, like Marvel's doing. Did you see the what Modor? Is that the
MODOK?
MODOK? There you go.
Yeah,
MODOK. He looks terrible.
I didn't see the Ant-Man trailer. I'm so Now I gotta say, because like I went and this is like I get left. My wife and kid were gone for the weekend. I was home alone. I had nothing else to do, so I went to the theaters right around the corner from my house, and I watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Oh no, how was it?
I was so baked. Within like an hour of the movie starting, I was like, I want to fucking go home. Like, I want to go home. Like, it was 2 hours and 41 minutes of like, basically like, I would have rather been waterboarded at Guantanamo Bay than sat and watched that. But no, I liked Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd.
But I love the story of Ant-Man, how they did it.
Yeah. It's just now with with what they're doing in the MCU, I'm just like, I have no interest in it. In Black Panther, I'm not bagging on the movie because it was women or it was Black Panther. It was just a piss poor movie. It was horrible. It was bad. The writing was terrible. There was no lead. I mean, it was shite. So Ant-Man, I can't get excited for. I can't get excited for anything Marvel anymore because they hate me.
And I've heard exactly. Yeah, I agree.
They hate me.
I heard that they are doing some reshoots. Apparently, that's my understanding. I saw a rumor that they saw Paul Rudd and everything on set, and they're doing some reshoots. So who knows what they're doing? Normally, reshoots this late in the game is not good. That's the same.
They're releasing it next month, isn't it?
Yeah,
February.
My understanding. I mean, that's the same thing with Indiana Jones. They're so close to releasing that, and they're doing reshoots and I mean, that's going to be another just disaster.
Who would have thought anything could go wrong with a movie with an 82-year-old lead in an action role? Who would have thought anything could possibly go wrong?
You know, and that's what blows my mind about just the Star Wars fans in general, like the ones, like even the ones that are still hopeful. And I have nothing against anybody who's hopeful.
No.
Like, you should be hopeful and all that, but. What the whole like Kathleen Kennedy chant, you know, like, yeah, she can go away tomorrow. Nothing's changing. You're not fixing that ship.
They're gonna bring in somebody that's worse than her.
Yeah, they're all like it's like if you cut that head off, there's 4 other people. There are 4 other Kathleen Kennedys right behind you. It's not a one person problem. This isn't like Stalin, right? There's another Stalin right behind him, ready to take the seat as soon as so. There's no fixing Star Wars. There's no, like, the IP's dead. It's gone. It's, I think even they say the next rumored movie is going to be prequel era. And it's going to be after the Rise of Skywalker. My understanding, like years after. And the director is the one that's doing the Miss Marvel show.
You talk, see, I was thinking you were talking about the Damon Lindelof one.
I didn't know there was 2 in the works. Who knows?
Well, it was rumored and it came out in some of the trades, but I was listening to a few bigger channels talk about it, and one I'll mention is Cameron Pasha, who I've had the pleasure of streaming with like a couple times. Super, he's been in the industry for 20 years. Yeah. Him and WDW Pro were on Valiant Renegade, and they were talking about that. And they basically, he said, that whole Lindelof thing is nothing. That's a big nothing burger. That's a smoke screen. That's not happening. That was somebody wanting to announce something so Kathy can say, oh, look, I've got this working, because they said, after Indy 5 is probably when they're going to push her out. But yeah, it's going to be meet the new boss. It's going to be just like the old boss. It'll be another yes man. They're still going to just keep gutting the husk of what's left of Star Wars. And somebody mentioned it the other day. They're like, if they wanted to make money with Star Wars, they would stop making Star Wars right now.
Oh, absolutely. Stop. It's called oversaturation. Star Wars, I mean, think about this. I don't know about you. When I was a kid, I always thought, man, how cool would it be to have a Star Wars TV show? How
Yep.
awesome would that be? And now I'm like, Star Wars has turned into a TV series franchise. It's no longer a movie franchise. It's horrible, like CW style TV shows. Now, I will say, like Andor, production value and everything was there, but still lackluster. You burned too many bridges. They've pushed so many people, the diehards, away. And now, my understanding, and another rumor it's floating around, again, it's rumor, take it for a grain of salt, that they're talking about potentially redoing the original movies. Like they're going to eventually do that. Like because they want it all to be in sync with each other, where you're going to have what's his name play Obi-Wan, old Obi-Wan. You're going to have Christian Haydenson as Vader.
Yep.
And then they're going to bring in a new Luke, and they'll probably have Leia be, how the famous swinging scene in A New Hope, Leia will be holding Luke. Because that's like Pop said here, the MCU is doing their best to portray women as incompetent narcissists who feel entitled. They're succeeded. Star Wars doing the same thing.
That's exactly what they've done with them. Like I said, because it's all the writers' projection. And who are the writers? These vapid, late 30s, bitter, frickin' wine-swilling, Tinder-swiping cat ladies.
Well, and then even the men are these weak, beta men that just are ineffectual fake feminists.
Yep.
Yeah, they pretend to be feminists so they could try to get with these women.
Yep.
And then ditch them anyway.
Yep.
It's just that same. It's sad, but here we are. Bobby says, "How are they going to open the Indiana Jones movie since they're no longer using Paramount Mountain?" I don't know. Who knows? Nothing is sacred anymore, Bobby. So it doesn't matter.
Right?
They'll just do something else. But yeah, let's to talk about something that we both enjoy. I grew up a wrestling fan. I grew up in the 90s. Well, early 90s, Macho Man, all that. Like I remember watching it on TV and seeing it, but I didn't really get into it until right before the Attitude Era, right as it was still there. Okay. The WCW war was going on, right? Like I got into it. I think it was like, I want to say it was the Royal Rumble that Stone Cold won, but shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Remember his foot touched and he kept. That's when I got into it, right? I haven't watched it in years before then. I was still young. I was like in junior high school. And I watched it and I was like, man, this is, and then it's the storylines, right? And then I was watching WCW and everything. So, but the breaking news, has it broke yet? Is it official or is it still rumored?
About
WWE?
Well, nothing has been confirmed yet. You've got people saying that it was almost a done deal. Then you've got people saying there's no deal. So I know Stephanie McMahon resigned.
Yep.
From her official is what CEO
or something
with Nick Khan. She resigned her position, which to me was a sign that they were going to do a deal with the Saudis, because let's face it, the Saudis are not the most progressive people when it comes to their views on women or the alphabet community. So, which WWE trying to lean into that progressivism as a corporate entity, like all these big corporate, billion-dollar corporations do now, they're going to run into some issues if they have a deal. Like, what are you going to do with your women's division? If the Saudis don't, like, are they gonna try to flex on them and be like, we don't want, I don't, there's a lot of things there, which honestly, it would be better for AEW, which I quit like watching wrestling years ago, when I was still in the business. I wasn't even watching. The only thing I would do, I would watch the What Culture videos, because that's back when What Culture wasn't just a bunch of just weak ass like soy jacks, which it is now. Simon Miller's the only one over there that has an ounce of testosterone in him. The rest of them are just they like, this is the thing. You were talking about WWE now, so I can kind of correlate this. They talk about Vince McMahon, like, and I'm not a big, huge Vince McMahon. I was always I was a Jim Crockett Promotions kid.
Yeah,
I grew up watching that. But I did watch WWF. My earliest memory outside of Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes is Hulk Hogan versus like the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
Like 83, I think. It was after the Bob Backlund angle I mean, I've been a wrestling fan since my mom got me into it because her dad was into it. And that led into me eventually getting into the business, but I got in later in life than most people do. I think if to sell to the Saudis is a huge, if potentially, if it is a huge mistake. Professional wrestling, in this case, we have to say WWE because they're the lion's share of the professional wrestling is theirs. AEW is, they're coming up. I mean, they've got you've got a national TV deal.
Yep.
Great. You're still a small company. But it's Americana. That's WWE, WWF. It'll always be the Fed to me. It is Americana. I mean, to see that sold is just us as our selling off our culture. Our number one export used to be our culture.
Yep.
What is it now? What is it? We don't have culture anymore. We sell
everything out. Our government officials sell us out. Our Hollywood's sold out because everything's sold out, and there's nothing of ours anymore. Corey says here, I started watching WCW for the first, and then WWF during the Attitude Era, but I eventually stopped not long after that. Yeah, I probably stopped watching WWF probably right before John Cena got onto the, into the. That's when I just, to be realistic, I was like, I started dating and going out, and I was like, I'm chasing girls. I'm not worried about wrestling no more. Like they don't care about it. I'm chasing what I need to. But I mean, I still like the Attitude Era and all that. I love it, and my understanding, if the rumors and stuff that I've read, and the reasoning why they would even sell is because Vince wants total control, right? And if it's a shared company like it is now, with a board, he won't have it. Versus if it's privately owned, then he can do whatever the hell he wants.
They want to take it private again. They never should have went public in the first place.
No,
they should. Financial move. They shouldn't have done it though. No, the whole thing now, the Vince McMahon, to take this back, the Vince McMahon scandal, having, like I said, spent as much time as I did in the wrestling business, my reaction to that was, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what goes on in life? I mean, Jesus, it's a business that started out is in the carnivals. Wrestlers were fucking carnies. And it's at the end of the day, it still is. They just do it in front of a national audience. Like I was in the business for 10 years on the independent level. I've worked in front of 10 people. I've worked in front of 500 people. That was about the biggest crowd. 500 to 600 was about the biggest draw I ever got to work in front of, which was cool. I was on cable TV at one point through a promotion that I ended my career with, had a TV deal. I was always a WCW guy. Like I said, man, the Outsiders, the NWO.
That was so much fun. Yeah, I would watch both back to back. Oh.
I'd record one and then and watch the other one, and then I'd trade tapes with my buddy. But yeah, I'd always record Raw and watch Nitro, and then I'd get his tape on Nitro and dub it. Because I loved WCW. Like I said, that Southern style of wrestling. That's how I was trained. Was like from basically like Tennessee style. And man, and then when they brought Hogan over there in the early 90s, they started to see that big influx of WWF guys coming over to WCW. And, you got and then, like I said, 96, Bash the Beach, when Hogan flipped heel and the NWO started, I was like, oh my God. So that was basically like my gimmick, the last run of my career. Me and I call him my brother. He was, he was a Marine. He was in, and he's got me into the business. And we were basically, I was Scott Hall, he was Kevin Nash. That was basically our fun. Seriously, like down to like I would come down, I was shit faced every time I wrestled. I I come out and I'd blowing a big old fucking puff of cloud of smoke. That's because I was sitting back there hitting my fucking big ass weed vape right behind the curtain. I'd hand it off to him, go put this in my bag, and I'd walk out on TV and just big ass cloud of smoke. I spit water into the crowd. They got so mad. The promoter's girlfriend was sitting right next there, and he's like, "Hey, could you not do that next time?" I was like, "What? You didn't like me getting her wet?" He got mad. Oh yeah, were you drunk when you were wrestling? I says, which time?
I was gonna say, isn't that was probably a standard back then, either drunk, high, or something.
Oh shit. Well, all the above. Because I wouldn't be like smash, but I mean, I'd have a nice buzz going because it made cutting promos easier because I was always a heel, which was way more fun, and it's easy for me to talk shit. It's easier to make people hate you than it is to make people love you. Like naturally, I click with being a heel, which is weird because like I'm just a fucking big old teddy bear.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. But no, with my sunny disposition. No, but it is, man. It was fun. And we, our merch was all like NWO letterbox. We're Team Ratings was our stable name. And I said, hey, I had shirts printed up. We did the black letterbox, hashtag Team Ratings in it, just like the NWO shit. We were selling to the boys in the fucking locker room for $20 a pop. I mean, everybody wanted and then it started like there was 5 of us in the stable, and then they come out and we had the guys coming up and back, hey, can we join your stable? These like they're marking out for us like backstage, and these are like I'm like, no, like, I'm not the fucking promoter or the booker. What are you asking me for? But so that was it was fun, and that led me to this. Hang on one second, I got something I want to share real quick, and I'll shut up and stop rambling. But
you're good, man.
Here's the new merch that's available over at our Teespring store right here. The new Wakuian Order.
That's awesome.
People have been asking for it. There it is. We've got the new Wakuian Order shirt. We've got towels. We got duffel bags. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops for ladies, and we'll get some kids stuff in there too. But yeah, so there's that's the new shirt. Chris Fisk mocked that up for me last night. And so that's available over at Teespring. And I'm going to get some, because I'm going to Horror Hound, I'm going to get some physical ones printed up from one of the local shops so I can take a couple dozen down there and sell them.
That's pretty cool.
Horror Hound. Yeah.
And speaking of, while we're talking about your channel, I know, tell everybody who is here or who listens to this on the playback, you got a lot of stuff that you do. You got so many shows. I feel like you got like 2 or 3 shows. Yep. And then what else you have coming up soon. So let everybody know what you got going on weekly and then what's coming up.
All right. Every Monday night at 8:30, we go in Raw. We've been going in Raw for, let's see, this coming Monday will be 237 Mondays in a row. That's an accomplishment. No, that's our show. That's the 4 Horsemen. It's myself, my co-host Tony Tonedeff, Vinny Tartamella from Vinny Art, and Chris Fisk from the Infinite Tale Chronicles, and also Angelus Draven. We do a show every Monday night, 8:30. Then immediately following the show, if you're a channel member, which we're up to 49, and if anybody goes over to my stream for tomorrow night, there are 3 gift memberships available. Which were purchased. We've got 15 gift memberships out there right now, and there's 3 left. So you can go over and claim those if you click on the stream. That's good for that's a producer tier. That's like our second tier channel membership for a month. So that's out there to claim. But yeah, because we're doing a watch party for Friday the 13th. It's going to be Friday the 13th, part A, Jason Takes Manhattan tomorrow night. But yeah, backtrack. Monday nights, 8:30. Going in Raw. Immediately we have the member stream, which we carry on the main show for channel members right after the show ends, which we do a box office breakdown. We have Marvel Monday, which we usually just rip on Marvel for a half hour. Then we have our main topic of the night. The Wednesday nights we have excuse me, Holy Shit News, which is
that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Yep, you've been on there a couple times, and that usually turns into like Florida man crime stories, things
gators,
like that.
Gators on meth or something.
Yep, bath salt, meth gators. But yeah, that goes from 8:30 until 9:30 on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday, and then immediately following that, myself, CJP, and Soldier Spirit from Vets Talking. We go. That's the main crew on Wednesday nights. We have the after show, and we'll be joined by our guest usually for that. For the members, that we have the members only stream for an hour after the show. And then Saturday nights, every Saturday, we have Saturday night's main event, which is at 9:15 Eastern. And that's usually myself, the Horseman, and a few other guests. And we'll either do a watch party or we just get loose and have fun and bullshit for a few hours. And I put videos out all week, pop culture news. I do movie and TV reviews. When something strikes me, like I said, I've got Monster Squad coming up.
Such a good movie. It's so good.
I love that one. I'm getting ready to watch The Burbs. I'm going to watch that.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies, man. Such a good movie.
Yep, I'm going to check that. I'm going to watch that out. I haven't watched it in a couple of years.
Haven't?
So
have you seen it?
Oh, yeah. I've got it on VHS,
okay.
Man. I saw it when it came out as a kid. I just haven't seen it in a couple of years. So I saw that. I'm going to watch that. And I'm launching Camp Crystal Lake, which is my new channel. That'll be launching soon. That's true crime documentaries and horror stories that I've mined off of Reddit. Some true life horror stuff. So we'll be talking about that. And that's it. You won't see this mug on camera over there. They're only on the main channel. But yeah, so that's I'm busy all the time. And I got to give a shout out to my editor, Good Stuff Comic Skater. Dude put in like 8.5 hours for me. He works full time, and he edited 8.5 hours worth of videos for me this week.
That's awesome.
Dude's amazing, and I have a wonderful team. Like I said, it's not me, it's we. I do. I have a great team that I've put around me. We'll be launching a website later this year, which will be streaming exclusively from the website. At one point, we'll be kind of moving things kind of over there. Everybody that has channel memberships on YouTube will automatically have a channel membership on the website, so we can be completely uncensored over there, and we don't have to worry about Mama Susan censoring what we say. So we can have more frank and honest conversations. So that'll all be because I'm going to get an LLC for the company and everything. And yeah, so that's what I got going on.
Big moves. That's good.
Yep. I'm 4 years in. I'm 4 years into this now, so it's like we can start. Like I said, we got the merch store.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We can. We're trying to do some things, and everybody around me, like Soldier Spirit, just started his channel. I want to help him build his channel, and CJP is a talented. Musician, producer, and guys like that. I want to kind of get these guys. And Vinny and Chris are talented comic book guys, and there's so much talent, and it's like everybody, it's like, hey, help these guys, get their stuff out there more, and that's the goal, man. That's the goal.
No, you have a really good community over there. Like I said, when I watch your streams and stuff, the intros, the outros, like you got it going on, man. You got good stuff over there. Like I said, your chat's popping when you guys are talking and stuff. So it's a fun time. I'm gonna do my best to make it tomorrow because I haven't seen Jason Takes Manhattan in forever, and that's usually my ritual. If Friday 13th happens, you gotta watch horror movies or at least a Friday 13th movie. Have to. It's just it's a standard. So
I got me and my kid got new matching Jason Voorhees hoodies. To where he's gonna make an appearance in one of the hockey masks on the stream tomorrow.
That'll be cool.
Oh yeah, he's seen about 4 or 5 of them. He's seen almost every Halloween movie. He's 7.5. But yeah, he really likes Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
That's a wild one. It's very weird.
He's got good
obscure.
taste.
Yeah. That's a good movie though.
But Friday the 13th Part 6 is my all-time favorite. That is my favorite entry in the entire series. I love that one. I love the way Jason is in it. It's zombie Jason for the first time. You've got Alice Cooper on the soundtrack. Tom Matthews is in it. Yep. It's very meta.
That one's fun.
Solid.
It's just campy,
it is
fun, just wild. But
Absolutely.
But no, man. So your link is in the chat. So if anyone here, if you have not subscribed to his channel, the place to be reviews, I highly recommend it. Like I said, you'll have fun in the live streams. Your videos are top notch. So you cover this a lot of the same stuff I talk about. So if you like my stuff, that you're definitely gonna like his. Like I said, especially the live streams, man. Your live streams are so much fun. If you want a good laugh, you will definitely find that over there. So, but. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Like I said, we're about an hour and 24. I have a late hockey game tonight that I got to start getting ready for. So that's be dreadful. I'll be paying for that tomorrow. But it is what it is. You gotta pay and have fun. But thank you for coming on the channel. Definitely want you back sometime soon.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And everyone in the chat, thank you all for being here. The channel members, everyone, thank you for hanging out. And I look forward to next week, and we'll have another stream and just keep rocking out some reviews and videos. So, but that's about it. So everyone have a good rest of your week. Good night. And I will catch you all very, very soon. ETAP, again, my friend, thank you for coming on, and I will talk to you very soon.
Absolutely.
All right. See you, everybody. Have a good night.